Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for ERIA to have this important symposium together with Malaysian government and ASEAN Secretariat. In the morning, we had a very interesting discussion on economic effects of infrastructure and financial viability. This is one very important issue, that how government can make the bankable, financial viable portion of projects together with the collaboration with some role of government. This is one big issue that we have to discuss a lot. But another issue is that economic effects. We have a lot of indirect effects in infrastructure. Very large portion of economic effects are generated outside of the project. So the benefit is not really coming back to the project itself. So that makes the infrastructure project financially unviable, but still it's worth implementing those kind of infrastructure. So how to capture economic effects and what sort of infrastructure is needed for such and such stage of development. This is another angle that we really have to discuss. Comprehensive Asia Development Plan 2.0, we are now drafting that, and we are really concentrated on those aspects, economic effects of infrastructure. What sort of infrastructure is needed? When we talk about the quality of infrastructure, we have to have a proper quality of infrastructure for the usage of infrastructure. So it really depends on the development stages. And also we have a so-called geographical simulation model. This is a sort of model that we can visualize the economic effects in a geographical sense. So we are discussing those in this report. So that, we really hope that CADP 2.0 can be a very important, useful inputs for the new MPAC. So CADP version 1 was done in 2010, and we submitted to the East Asia Summit at the time. And this time we are writing up a 2.0. The draft was already reported to EAS, Economic Ministers Meeting, and we hope that we have some chance to present this to East Asia Summit next month. So when we talk about development stages, actually we are not just having a narrow sense of connectivity, but we have to talk about the innovation too. So this is one angle that we have to add here. And also, we like to discuss the quality of infrastructure. At the same time, quality of infrastructure projects. So this is another angle that we like to discuss in this report. And then, of course, not just logistics infrastructure, we need some supplementary economic infrastructure, and also the hard and soft infrastructure. Those are very important too. So that soft portions are certainly the regulatory issues are coming in. So if you look at the GDP per capita, so we had a lot of progress even in just 5 years. So you can see the colors show a sort of rough classification of the World Bank, high income, upper middle income, lower middle income, and low income. Actually, we have a lot of progress like that. So in 5 years ago, sort of middle distance, long distance connectivity for latecomers, that was a very, very important issue. Still, it's not completed, of course. So we need those kind of things continuously. But some countries are very advanced already. So actually, talking about Malaysia, talking about Thailand, actually the infrastructure demand changed a lot. So we have to, when we talk about infrastructure development, we need some new aspects of infrastructure over there. So this is the really simplistic approach, but say once we are coming into global value chain, say in the garment industry, then so this is a very slow type of production networks. Those kind of policies we call tier 3. Still, we need those for some rural areas, of course. But CLM are moving up a little bit more. Now it's going into tier 2 policy. So they need really coming into fast and quick production networks. So in machinery industries and others. So then certainly infrastructure demand changes. And then so Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, not just hook up with production networks. At the same time, they are now forming industrial agglomeration. Industrial agglomeration should be very, very efficient. So we need a lot of infrastructure demand over there. Then Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, not just forming industrial agglomeration. They really have to have innovation hub. In order to go up to the fully developed economy, we need innovation hub. Say we have to attract many intellectual people from the world, and also you have to nurture human capital. And then naturally, intellectual people are gathering, then naturally they need a sort of really high-level innovation. So when you talk about connectivity, so starting from tier 3, just a sort of a middle grade, medium grade stuff is fine, but so coming into production networks, tier 2, then we need really quick, fast, high quality connectivity, and then the industrial agglomeration, and after that, we need turnpike connectivity that really overcome the time and the space, and really thick connectivity is needed. And innovation is another aspect. So starting from relatively simplistic process innovation and product innovation for new to the firm type, it's a simplistic one, that is generated in industrial agglomeration. And then after that, in order to be a fully developed economy, we need product innovation. So those are sort of aspects that in order to support this kind of connectivity and innovation, we need infrastructure. So these are just pictures that you can see as different grades of roads and railways, ports, and airports. And this is just an illustration, but we have to think of a sort of property level quality of infrastructure. And certainly, we have to take care of positive effects, externalities, negative effects, externalities are taken care of. And those are, that to set a sort of judgment of what would be the proper quality of infrastructure along the production, along the development stages. Oh, sorry. This is too small that we are actually listing up 750 infrastructure projects, soft and hard, and also in various sectors, including energy sector. And we are using the simulation model and make a sort of trying various scenarios, just hard infrastructure, say only Mekong-India Economic Corridor, or North-South Corridor, East-West Corridor, and others. And also including NTB, these are sort of soft aspects of infrastructure, plus SEZ development, it's a special economic zone development, and then we can see a sort of economic effects. Those are quite different. So if you think of this infrastructure project, economic effects are quite different. And so a well-coordinated implementation is important, but at the same time, we have to really make a sort of important judgment of what sort of infrastructure is really needed for economic development. We show this kind of map a lot in the report. I just showed only one, but this is if we do many things, and then you can see red portion is a larger positive effects. Then you can see if we do those in ASEAN, then economic effects are really spread out to the neighboring countries. So this is because if connectivity is good, then economic effects are really generating a lot of indirect effects. Even if we have a sort of better roads in ASEAN, then actually that effects are going to India, going to China, Korea, Japan, like that. So these are sort of aspects that we are really connected. And if well-connected areas have larger effects. And also we checked so-called Gini coefficients. This is how we can see the changes in inequality across the level of income at the provincial level. So in many projects, and then actually Gini coefficients are coming down. That means that if we implement those, then the regional economy is going to be more equitable, relatively compared with the base results. So those are one approach and how we can capture economic effects. And this is not really a sort of easy task, but this is one aspect, of course, but one approach. But you can see not all projects are the same. So we really have to think of important, economically important project and not. So this is a really important issue. Okay, and also the quality of infrastructure projects, we have many things to say. One is, one example is a competitive bidding. So in typical competitive bidding, we have various ways to do that. One is at the first stage, check the minimal technical standard. Then in the second stage, the lowest bidding guy is get the job. I think this is a really bad idea. Actually, so we have a really suboptimal. So we have to take care of price competitiveness and non-price competitiveness at the same time. Otherwise, we cannot really choose a good one. And also, maintenance. Sometimes we have to incorporate maintenance money in infrastructure development. Otherwise, say in the road maintenance and others, of course, those are the job for governments. But sometimes the government budget is a sort of unstable. So it may be nice to collect some small money, small fee for cars, and then actually we can get a sort of maintenance. And also macro discipline for development partners. Now we have various kinds of development partners, say traditional, non-traditional. So at least a disclosure of information on lending activities. Those are very important, but it's not really implemented in this region. And also micro disciplines on the partnership between public and private. Say public-private collaboration while keeping playing field flat for private. This is going to be a very important issue because, say, international rulemaking is a step into how to deal with state-owned enterprises and others. Various kinds of government is involved in the competition, and it's on how we can think of the competition field between private and public. So this is a big issue, but it's going to be very important. Thank you very much.